Hello children, welcome back to my channel. Today we will discuss about direct and inverse proportion. So this is most confusing concept which many students have told me because the question seems to be the same but they don't know whether it is direct or inverse proportion. So I am going to give you few tips for you to remember whether it is a direct or inverse proportion. Okay, I will give you just one simple example where you can easily relate which is direct proportion and which is inverse proportion. See children, you just assume that if some relatives comes to our house, usually we welcome them and we give them some drinks or coffee or tea or whatever it is, we just serve them for whoever is entering our house. Right? See now, if only two people are coming to your home, it is just an assumption, two people are coming to your house, and if you want to welcome them by giving a lemonade, what are the materials you may require? You may require a lemon, you may require one lemon, right? And then you may require water, sugar. So these are the main ingredients which you require for preparing a lemonade, right? So how many people have arrived? Two people have arrived. So for two people, if you want to prepare a lemonade, you may require one lemon, and water you require 2 glasses, and sugar you may require 4 tablespoons. Okay, 4 tablespoons of sugar is required. So now instead of two people, if two more people are adjoining, so totally if you have 4 people, then the increases, the lemon also you have to increase, water quantity also you should increase, and the sugar also you should increase. So instead of one lemon, you may have to add 2 lemons, then water 4 glasses, you may have to add, and sugar double of it you have to add. 8 tablespoons you should add. Okay? Okay children, you just imagine now there are 2 more people coming to your home. If 2 more people are added up, then we may require 2 lemons. So instead of 1 lemon, now we will put 2 lemons. We will put 4 glasses of water and we will put 8 tablespoons of sugar. So what is happening here? What's the observation you can see here? The observation is, if there is increase in the number of people, there is increase in the quantity of lemon, water and sugar. So if there is increase in one quantity, there should be increase in the other quantity also. If that is the case, then we say it is a direct proportion. Okay, so now we will just consider the two quantities as x and y. You have to remember in direct proportion, if I am taking x and y, okay, so the ratios should be x divided by y is equal to constant. Okay, you have to consider the ratio of x and y, and they both should be constant. See, suppose if you are taking the values, number of person to the number of glasses of lemon juice, if you want to consider, you have to take its ratio. It is 4 by 4 or 2 by 2. Here if we consider the tablespoon, it will be 4 by 8 or 2 by 4. Like this it is. Okay. So now the same example I will give you in case of inverse proportion. See here, when the guests arrived, you started preparing lemonade, right? Now already you have a lemon juice which is prepared for 1 liter. You people have prepared it. Okay, usually you people will prepare and store it, and as soon as your guests arrive, you will distribute. Okay, now this 1 liter we want to divide and give it to 2 person, you think. So it will be half liter, right? It will be half liter. Now instead of 2 people, if 4 people are arriving, same this 1 liter will be divided among 4 people, right? It will be divided among 4 people. So each one will get quarter liter, right? So now what is happening here? this is 1 liter. Now 2 people have arrived and you got half glass. Okay, half of this is being distributed. Now when you are having 4 people, its quarter of it is getting distributed. So when there is increase in one quantity, there is decrease in the other quantity. So this case is called as inverse proportion. So in inverse proportion, if we consider both the variables, here it is the product of both the variables should be equal to constant. This is the important tip which you people have to remember. In case of direct proportion, it is x divided by y is equal to constant, and here it is x into y is equal to constant. So in this case, if there is increase in one quantity, there is increase in the other quantity also. So in that case, what you need to do is you have to divide both and they both will be equal to a constant. And in this case, what you need to do, if there is increase in one quantity, there is decrease in the other quantity. Here if you are going to prepare for 10 people, the number of lemons should be increased. Water, sugar, everything is getting increased. Here in this case, what is happening? Already the juice is ready and that should be distributed for people. So once there are more number of people, less is the quantity of juice distributed, right? So now I hope I have made you people understand with this example. So now we will see some more examples where it will be very easy for you to understand. Here you have 2 examples. I will just make you understand how to check whether the given questions are in direct proportion or inverse proportion. So first thing what you need to remember is you need to identify which are the quantities we are going to consider. When you read the first question, Ravi walks at the uniform speed at 5 km per hour. What distance would he cover in 2 hours and 24 minutes? So here the 2 quantities are the distance and the time. So speed is given, so that means it is the at what distance is he covering. Okay, so it is distance and the time. So this you need to find out. Always draw a tabular column which will make you understand better. So now when you take the distance covered is 5 km per hour, and in an hour 5 km per hour. He is just traveling 5 km per hour. So that is 60 minutes. We will write this as 60 minutes. Time in minutes. Then next, what distance would he cover in 2 hours 24 minutes? So now we don't know what is the distance. So we will give one variable for it. And here it is 2 hours and 24 minutes. So we need to convert this into minutes. So in 1 hour we have 60 minutes. So in 2 hours it is 120. So 120 plus 24, that is equal to 144 minutes. Okay. So here it is 144 minutes. So as I told you, you have to compare the ratio. So now you just check. So the distance is 5 km in 1 hour. So now the time has increased. So the time has increased to 144 minutes. See, in 1 hour if he can travel 5 km, then in 144 minutes, in 2 hours, will he travel more or will he travel less? Obviously, he will travel more. The distance will be more compared to the 1 kilometer. So what is the ratio here? So you have to write down the ratio, and like this you need to write down 5 divided by 60 is equal to x divided by 144. So you are going to write the ratio of it. And then after this, you people know you need to cross multiply and find out the value. That's it, you will get the answer. So do the cross multiplication. Here x will be equal to 5 into 144 divided by 60. So now 5 ones are, and here 12s are, and here 12 and 12s are. So here it is 12 kilometer per hour. So he will be able to cover 12 kilometer per hour. Okay. So this is the value of x. So what is the tip? So you have to just see the ratio. After you see the ratio, if there is increase in one quantity, if there is increase in the other quantity also, you have to divide the x by y value. You have to divide both the quantities. It may be anything. Now we have considered distance and time. So whatever quantity they give, you have to divide the ratio. So that is a trick what you need to follow. This is where children get confused and they go wrong. So I am sure that after seeing my video, you people will never go wrong. So now children, here 7 taps of the same size fill in a tank in 1 hour 36 minutes. How long will 8 taps of the same size take to fill? So in this case, what you have to do is consider the two quantities. Which are the two quantities here? It is the tap, number of tap. Write down number of taps and 1 hour 36 minutes. It's filling in 1 hour 36 minutes. So that is the time taken. Time you write it in minutes as you have written previously the same way. So now number of taps. How many taps? 7 taps. It's filling in 1 hour 36 minutes. The other one, 8 taps are filling but you don't know what's the time taken. So I have already told you, whenever there is increase in one quantity, if there is decrease in the other quantity, then it is an inverse proportion. So here we will just check whether it is direct or inverse proportion. Here when you see the 7 taps are filling in 1 hour 36 minutes. So now 8 taps, one more tap is opened. So what will be the time taken? Will it be more than that or will it be less than that? Yes, obviously it will be less than that. So what you need to do? You have to multiply the quantities. So we will just multiply the quantities. So that will be before multiplying the quantity. We will just convert this hour also into minutes. 1 hour here it is 60 plus 36. This 36 minutes, that is equal to 96 minutes it is. Okay. So now here it will be 7 into 96 is equal to 8 into x. So keep 7 and 96 on left hand side and 8 you send it to the other side and x remains here. So it is 8 ones are and here 12s are. So now x is equal to 7 into 12 which is equal to 84 minutes. So just convert this minutes into hours and minutes. So 84 minus 60 you need to do. So that will give you here 24. So that means 84 is equal to 1 hour 24 minutes. Okay. So you can see there is decrease in this time taken. So when there is increase in one quantity and decrease in the other quantity, then it is inverse proportion. So whenever you read a question, any question you read, what you have to do first? Draw the tabular column. Find out which are the quantities you need to compare and analyze which quantity is increasing. If one quantity is increasing and this will create an increase in the other quantity, then it is direct proportion. If one quantity increases and if the another quantity decreases, then it is inverse proportion. In direct, you have to divide both the quantities, and in inverse, you need to multiply both the quantities. So this is the only difference between direct and inverse variation. Once if you people understand this, you can solve any type of questions, children. Okay, meet you in the next video. Thank you, children, and those who have not subscribed, please subscribe my channel so that you will get the latest updates of my video.